We are at the Prospect Heights Library District. We just left their Park District, a complete S show. It went horribly south for them. Why? Because we have our binder and we're prepared. Police officer came in telling fairy tales. These people do not have their stuff displayed prominently. Okay, the only thing these folks have is the total amount of operating budget. That's it. So let's see how this goes. Hi, how's it going?
Good.
I'm recording here, monitoring government. How does that sound to you?
I don't know what you mean.
What's the first name of the FOIA officer?
I don't know.
Could you find out for me?
Hold on, please.
Sure. So they're monitoring government. How does that sound? Monthly planning guide. Sorry guys, I'm shooting in 1080 instead of 4K. I usually get to shoot in 4K. Let's take a copy of this right here. Take a copy of one of these. Put one of these right here. Slide one of these in our binder. It's a calendar. That's a cool telescope or whatever that is. Let's see what else they got here as we wait here. I think she's helping me out. Yeah, I'm monitoring government here.
Okay,
How does that sound to you?
so as long as you're only filming in public areas.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Can you not film it all?
I have the right to.
I know you do.
I could point it at a different direction.
That'd be great. So, the FOIA, I just don't like them. Alex Todd is our executive director.
Alex Todd, is he or she available to speak to?
It's he, and he's not here today.
Okay, great. So who's the designee if the FOIA officer's not here? Who would be the designee? He's the designated.
You'd have to probably, no, right now.
Okay. There's some records that have to be displayed prominently. One of them is the total amount of operating budget of this library, which it is. It's out there on the wall. There's other things that are required, ma'am. Could they be made available? Because they're required to be made available immediately.
Like, what do you mean?
So one of them is going to be the purpose of this, a short description of this library. Is that online?
Purpose of this, yeah,
Yeah.
we have a mission statement.
Right, it's on, the mission statement is online, right? Okay, great. Is it actually at the public body prominently displayed as required, or is it just online?
I don't know.
So,
I don't, yeah.
yeah, we're gonna find somebody who has some more information.
Sure. So let me go ahead and let me include this information here. Give me a second.
No, okay. Can I help you? Oh, okay.
She's getting another.
Sure, I'll stick around.
Right. since I'm
You
right here, I
want the
can
mission statement, is that what you want?
Well, there's several things, ma'am. Would you like me to give you a list of what I'm requesting?
And you can't just email Alex? and
No,
find-
because this is to be made available immediately. It does not require a request.
What's the hurry?
What's the
Don't
what?
worry, no, don't, okay, what do you need now?
It's here in the statute.
You want this?
Yes, the one highlighted portion. These are all required to be made available immediately.
Hold on.
All right, give me a minute. Let me pause this.
Wait, what is it that you're looking for?
Yes, so it's right here, ma'am. Each public body shall prominently display at each of its administrative or regional offices, make available for inspection and copying all these items, a brief description of itself, which will include but not limited to a short summary of its.
That's just the one thing that you need?
No, it's all in here, ma'am. It's 10 items.
10 items.
Yes. You see, if they were already displayed, I would not have to ask you for them, but they're not displayed.
Hi.
Pause this. So here in our binder we're going to be checking off that the only thing they do have displayed prominently is going to be the total amount of operating budget. Everything else is not here. We're going to see if they're able to make copies as required by law. Additionally, if we flip this tab here, we have our designated FOIA form that we're going to be submitting with this public body. We're going to be requesting a total of 5 records.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. We'll let our director know.
Okay.
He's not here today.
Okay. You'll let your director know what, ma'am?
That you would like that posted somewhere on either in the building or on our website.
Right. Well, besides it being posted, it's to be made available whether the employee's here or not.
What?
It says.
I think you have to make a formal
No,
FOIA request.
ma'am, you don't. Freedom of Information officers shall develop a list of documents or categories of records that the public body shall immediately disclose upon request.
Okay, so I'm
Here-
telling we don't have any
Well,
that are immediate upon request.
well, they're required to, ma'am. This makes me believe that someone's intentionally or recklessly failing to provide mandatory duty provided by law, which is a official misconduct.
Okay, so I've been told by my director that if you need something requested, you need to make a FOIA request.
No, ma'am, these do not require a FOIA. They already have to be displayed prominently, which they're not.
So what are you actually looking for?
It's all listed here
You're
in
looking
writing.
for everything here?
Yes, that's correct. That's 10 items.
I believe all this should be on our website. Did you look?
Well, that's my 10th thing. That's what I'm going to have you folks show me on the 10th item.
Okay.
The 10th item is calling for this to be online. See, I just went across the street to the public park district. They have everything on their wall.
Okay.
They have everything.
Okay.
I flip over, come here, and I don't see nothing except for your budget. Your budget's the only thing out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's honorable of me to come and check government.
Of course.
It's very
yes.
honorable.
I'm not saying that it's not.
Yes. And if
But I'm pretty sure that all this is on the website.
sure, if you believe it's online, if I could have a copy of it, please.
Sure. Well, you can pay for a copy of it. I can put you on a computer and you can print it off.
No, ma'am, the first 50 pages are free. This does not require any cost. So now she wants to tell me that she wants me to pay for the pages. No, that's not going to work. The first 50 pages are free regardless. These pages do not count as some of the 50 pages. These pages, these don't have nothing to do with the first 50 pages. These are free. So now that she's believes that she's going to make them available, I asked her if they could tape them up in a minute. All right, let's pause this for a minute. Just to clarify, is this free?
Yes.
I took one. Thank you.
Sure.
That's a great planner, yep.
This might help you say that you can reach Alex.
No, ma'am, I don't need to reach Alex.
I can take it back.
No,
if you
I want that though. I want that.
Oh, I can take it.
No, I need that. But the thing, my
Just trying to help.
I
That's
hear
all.
you, ma'am. I hear you. The boss did say, she walked away. Let me pause this. Ma'am, here's a list of over 500 agencies that I've been to government. And I had many of these government agencies display these records prominently. Imagine 30, 40 years of the agency not in compliance. and tell a potential immigrant, I might be an immigrant that just got off the boat yesterday, comes and points fingers and has the government do the right thing. What an honorable job. I'm not saying that I am or not. I'm just saying I might be. I might got off the boat yesterday from Palestine. To the people watching, it's just to tell the government that, hey, you know what, they cannot discriminate whether you're this person or that person. You could be the president of the United States, or you could be someone working at McDonald's. I'll pause this for a minute. So right now, just for everybody watching this video now, just to clarify, we don't know what's going to happen, because you never know what people come up with. But as of we are waiting right now, their manager came out and told me she's back there attempting to make copies of these records. She's attempting to print them offline. So this is what we're waiting for now. I don't know if these folks escalated anything. Their body language seems a little odd and strange. But we're prepared for that packet. Yes, we are. Imagine how honorable it is. By the time I leave, maybe a day, 2 days ago, 2 days later, these folks would prominently display everything. They wouldn't even have the respect to tell me, hey, you know what, we were in the wrong. Thank you for you bringing this to our attention. Let's go ahead and wait here on the side while we do this. Oh, that's a cool bag, plastic bag, prospect heights. Pause this for a minute. Some of the books they have here on the shelf. Oh wow, they have an old CD player. That's cool. Cool. Let's see what else they have on this wall here. Oh wow. You know what? Meanwhile, let me ask them. I wanted to do a reference search. Could we search up everything associated with, oh, let's see what the lady comes. Yes.
Here is your paperwork back.
Yes, thank you.
And this is on our website, under the Freedom of Information Act. We are actually not providing anything immediately. You must ask for everything by mail to our chief officer.
No, ma'am, it's required
No, if you
to be made
reread that,
copies.
it does not say that. It says that we must provide it upon requested. It does not say that it has to be provided to you immediately.
Ma'am, these have to be prominently displayed. They are not.
Okay, so that is not what my director is saying. He is saying that you need to request.
It's right here for everybody to see while you're saying that. They're watching now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, so if you want any of those items, you do need to request. It says right here, you can request them by mail.
Okay, ma'am. There's a reason why they're not displayed prominently. What's the reason?
I have no idea. You'd have to talk to my
Okay.
library director.
If they're not displayed prominently, the records?
Yes.
This means the records are being concealed, which is a felony.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
This might need a higher up. But anyhow,
Yeah, I
ma'am.
agree with you. So,
Okay.
proceed as you see fit.
Ma'am, like
My
I
name
said,
is Kim Murphy. I'm the head of the
Okay.
Adult Services Department.
Here,
If you need any of these things, the only thing you can do is talk to my director by mail. That's how we are proceeding with this information. I don't have any other information.
I hear what
for
you're
you today.
saying, ma'am. However,
So have a great day.
okay.
It's been lovely meeting you.
Ma'am,
And
I might have to call the police and
that's
inform
a
them
great idea.
that these folks are concealing a public record.
I think that's a good idea. Why don't you call the police and have them come talk to us?
Oh,
Perfect. That's a great solution.
as a matter of fact, let me call the sergeant that just gave us his business card here. So we're gonna have to escalate this. Prospect Heights Police Department non-emergency number. Prospect Heights non-emergency police number. Let's call the sergeant. Sergeant gave me his card. So let's go ahead and call the sergeant here. Call the non-emergency line here. They are concealing these records. These are public records being concealed from State Records Act 160, 5 ILCS subsection 160. All right, let's call Prospect Heights Police non-emergency. Prospect Heights Police non-emergency. Let me pause this for a minute.
Please, sir, how do you want to proceed?
Are you claiming that I can't wait in here for the police?
I don't want you waiting at my service desk unless you need something from my service desk people.
Well, I'll go
So
have
I've
a
got
seat in the
lots of
chair over
tapes.
there.
Sure, you can
Okay,
certainly
now let me
have a
ask you
seat.
this. What would be the reason why you can't just print the stuff up and make it available as required by
Because
law?
I don't have access to it.
You don't have access to this online? How would I have access if you don't?
You would reach out to my information officer who would give you that information.
Okay.
Because according to our website, the only way to receive any of that information is to do a formal request by mail.
There's a right and there's a wrong. Are you confident in that you believe you're in the right here?
I am.
Okay. You're in the wrong, ma'am, because across the hall at the Park District has their portions complied with. There's no
That's
reason.
the way they've chosen to do that.
No, that's
We
what's
have not.
it's required by law. There's a right and there's a wrong.
Okay, so that's your interpretation, the interpretation that my director and my lawyer for the library has said that we can ask you to request this information by mail.
I guarantee it in about a month from now, you folks would have the stuff up, and you would not even want to say that you were in the wrong because that's how you feel. That's my
fine.
pen there.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
So what I'll do, I'll go have a seat over there.
that'd be wonderful.
Okay, great. Do you have a public computer that I could get on?
You need a library card to get on our computer, so
Okay.
if you have a library card from another library, you're welcome to
But
get on.
I'll sit on the chair and flicker through my paperwork.
Sure, sounds good.
But before I do reach out, could you try to make the records available? That's all I'm
That's
asking.
not gonna happen today, my director is out of town, and there's no one else here who has access to that information.
So you're saying you need special access to locate these records on your website?
I need special access to access the records, correct?
So they're withheld not only from the public body, but online too. They're concealed
Correct,
online.
they are not on our website currently.
I'm grateful that you told me that on the camera.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's under Section 160 of the State Records Act. That's concealing a public record, which is a felony.
I'm sure you feel that way, but according to what we read, that interpretation is we can request by mail and we will provide that information for you.
There's a right and there's a wrong.
That is your opinion, sir.
All right, so let's get on the phone here. Let me pause this for a minute.
Contacting the Prospect Heights Police Station. If this is an emergency, please Please hang up and dial 911.
This is a non-emergency.
If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. To speak with an operator, please press 0 or stay on the line.
Your call is being transferred. Rossville High School Department?
Yes, hi, just to clarify, is this the non-emergency line?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. This call here is being recorded now. I need a non-emergency officer here at the public library here in Prospect Heights, non-emergency. These folks here are concealing public record, which is a felony according to state statute, but we need to resolve this. We need an officer sent here, please.
Okay, let me put you through our dispatch. Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Your call is... Police and Fire Dispatch, how can I help you?
Yes, hi, this call is being recorded here. Is this the non-emergency line?
Yeah, we do have an emergency as well. Where do you need help?
No, I want to clarify. Is this non-emergency?
It's emergency and non-emergency.
No, I need non-emergency. Please transfer me.
We do both.
Oh, okay, great. Great. All right, great. So I'm at the public library here in Prospect Heights, and these folks are concealing public records, and they are not making them available as required by law. They're committing an official misconduct as well. Concealment of a public record is a felony. If you could send a squad car police officer here so we might be able to resolve this.
What is the address where you're at?
Sure. The address to the public library here is 12 North Elm Street, Prospect Heights.
Okay, 12 Elm Street in Prospect Heights is the library?
Yeah, it's your library, right.
And what's a good phone number for you?
Well, it's the number that's on the caller ID. Do you have a copy of it?
No, I don't. It looks like you were transferred.
Oh, okay. Well, the number is 847.
Okay, 847.
Yes, that is correct. What was your name?
Okay, I'm operator 63. Where are you going to be waiting for the police?
I am in the library. I'm sitting on one of the desks. Again, it's a non-emergency.
Yeah, I understand. Where in the library? Are you
Sure.
going to meet the officer at the entrance?
Right.
Or?
Well, once the officer walks in the main entrance, I'm to the right-hand side. He or she would be able to see me, and I do have a binder in hand. I'm wearing a yellow shoes, bright yellow shoes.
Okay, what is your name, sir?
Well, at this time, I do not want to provide name.
Okay, if you can just keep an eye out for the officer, I'll let him know you're going to be near the main entrance, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, right. So with that being said, I need to have the concealment of a record on my binder, but we're going to look up the code here. ILCS, concealment of public record. All right, here it is, guys. Let me find it. Conceal. Here it is. Tampering. A person commits tampering with public notice when he or she lawfully alters, destroys, defaces, removes, or conceals any public notice posted according to law during the time for which the notice was to remain posted. So these folks are right now committing not only a felony under this statute, they're in official misconduct as well. They're concealing these records. The supervisor here just confirmed with me that they are not going to make anything available. They just want to throw their hands on me and tell me to go about my way. Now, here is proof on the screen of concealing a public record, right? Now, let's look at official misconduct. And that's a code I'm going to have in my clipboard as well. I mean, in my binder. So now let's see. see what official misconduct reads. Here it is, official misconduct. When a person intentionally or recklessly fails to perform any mandatory duty required by law. So under FOIA, it's requiring that they display these records prominently, which they are not. Here's under FOIA. Each public body shall prominent display at each of its administrative or regional offices, make available for inspection and copying and send through the mail each of the following. So here's one of them. Here is, let's see, a block diagram, the total amount of operating budget. That's the only item that they do have up. A block diagram giving its functional subdivisions, approximate number of full-time, part-time employees. All this information right here is being concealed. The only thing visible is their total amount of operating budget. Therefore, they are in official misconduct and concealing of a public record. That gives me the ground to do a private person arrest, which I'm not going to at this time, but if need be, if they wanted to get belligerent. Because a private person arrest is calling for any person may arrest another when he or she has reasonable grounds to believe that an offense other than an ordinance violation is being committed. Right now, they are committing an offense, state offense. Which ones of the offense are they committing? Well, one of them is going to be the official misconduct, and one of them is going to be under Section 160 State Record Act, concealing of a public record. So let's go ahead and wait here for the police to arrive. Let me pause this meanwhile. So there's the lady walking there with papers in her hand now. Let's see what she comes up with now.
So have you looked at our website at all for any of this information?
No, ma'am, I'm going to ask you folks to point that out to me. That's my 10th
Okay,
item.
so this is on our website. I will keep looking to see what I can find.
I am listening. So now she changed her mind. Now she changed her mind. First, she told me she's not going to provide me with anything. Now she gave me her budget and is telling me she's going to keep looking for other items. You see how you hold government accountable here? But first, what she told me in her own words is that she does not have access to the documents online. Imagine how that sounds. If you being a government representative do not have access to these records online, what makes you believe that any member of the public would have access to these records online? You see the logic here? You see how they'll just tell you anything, but they can't just tell you anything when you have your auditor shield binder with you in all 50 states. Yesterday, we finalized the Texas binder. There's 2 individuals that signed up to Auditor Shield who received the Texas binder along with the checklists for Texas. Okay? So let's go ahead and pause this and wait for the cops to get here. Yep, I called the non-emergency line.
Yes.
Okay, great.
They dispatch all police.
Sir, the thing that I'm having here troubles with is that
Do you want me to stand in front of your camera? Is that
it does not matter.
okay?
The thing about it is, Sergeant, is that, here, let me have a seat.
Yeah, that's all right.
When you walked out of the hall across the street there, I don't know if you glanced or not at the publications that they had. Okay, great. These folks here only have one item displayed prominently, which is the total amount of their operating budget.
Okay.
I said, Madam Clerk, here's the statute. Can you please make these available for me as they are required by law?
Okay.
She said, no, we're not going to make them available.
Okay.
I said, but ma'am, they're required to be displayed prominently. She said, we're not going to make them available because you have to request them. This is what she gave me. I pointed out to her the statute here that says these are to be made.
Do you mind if I take a look to see
Sure,
what she
yep.
gave you?
Yes, it is.
All right. Best free must be read by mail, FOIA officer, okay. Okay, so she gave you the means to receive the...
To submit a FOIA request.
okay,
She gave me the means to do that, right.
Okay.
Now, my question was, this does not, my conversation with her is that this does not require a FOIA request. These are records that should be already displayed prominently. She said no, and she said they're online. I asked her, can you access them online? She said no, she doesn't have the authority to access these records online. So how would you guide someone else, a member of the public, to go online and search for these things if you're a government representative, administrator, and you claim yourself does not have access to these records? So she said, nope, she threw her hands up. We're not going to do that for you. You have a nice day. Just wanted to dismiss me off.
Okay.
And we looked at
And
section.
I don't mean to interrupt. What's her title here?
She thinks she's the manager.
Okay.
But we did look up section 160. It's a felony to conceal a public record. That's a felony.
Okay.
If they're claiming they don't have access to these records online, they're concealed. If they don't have access to these records nowhere to be found in this entire building, that means the records are concealed. They're withheld. That's a felony. Another thing, since they're not displayed prominently, if we go to our binder here, under official misconduct is saying when someone either intentionally or recklessly fails to perform any mandatory duty required by law. So since these records are required to be displayed prominently, is the FOIA officer intentionally or recklessly failing to perform that duty? That's the question.
That would be the question.
That would be the
Right.
question.
Intent's a hard thing to prove. I think a lot of this is education. I appreciate what you're doing and putting a spotlight on it because, you know, if it's, for example, if all of these entities fall underneath the city and it's like, hey, the whole city doesn't have the right things displayed,
Yes.
well then if you start in one place, it's usually a trickle-down effect, okay?
Sure.
So, with that being said, what are they missing?
Okay, great.
And are we talking to this is apples and oranges, but you know, there's a little bit of bleed over. Are we talking to the right people whose decision it is to make to put the proper notices? Because those typically, from my experience, are not the frontline employees. If you went to, you know, my police department, for example, and spoke with a frontline officer, they're probably not going to know about this. That's a supervisor, that's the deputy chief, that's the chief, that's the city administrator. That's
Sergeant, any employee that works for the front desk has the wherewithal to go online, attempt to browse for the items, and simply print the items out in conformity with this act. However, they did give me Alexander Todd, which is the executive director.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that we escalate
Sure.
this matter internally,
But-
so that way
yeah.
if they are out of compliance, he's going to know.
He's the FOIA officer as well, designated. He instructed his manager not to provide these records.
Okay.
So now he's intentionally.
Okay. If he's doing that intentionally, he's directing, right?
Yep.
I'm not sure that he's under the obligation to, or if he's aware of the obligation.
He might not be aware of
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Right. And that's what it's like. Once you're educated, and then there's a refusal. Well, then there's a.
You make a great point there, Sergeant. You do make a great point. And so the young lady did return. I did say I have to phone non-emergency. I made sure it's non-emergency. Is that how it came by you?
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't
great.
respond here via emergent, but
Yeah.
it's the same dispatch.
Sure.
So.
So the young lady, the manager, did provide one item after she refused, after I said I'm going to phone the police.
Okay.
She provided me with the total amount of operating budget.
Okay.
She did also mention, let me go back on the computer and see if I could get the remaining of records. Ma'am, if only you told me that before I have to get the police involved. Okay? Because sure, yeah, we could escalate it and find out what the intentions are of these folks, but it's like, why go the extra mile not to do your guys' transparent work? Why not to try to assist the person when he's clearly handed you the law for you to review? I gave him a copy of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, people manufacture stuff all the time. You know.
Yeah, well, this could be looked up. This is certified.
I know.
As well.
But there goes the education portion
Sure.
of this again. So.
They could have a reason to believe that it might be not statute.
Exactly.
Or
I've had
something.
that pulled on me all the
Yeah.
time. Hey, this
Some
federal-
hogwash,
Yeah,
but this is clearly.
I'll take you at your
state
word
statute,
for it. I
yeah.
haven't read it thoroughly, but let me speak with her and see, you know, what type of resolution are you looking for on this? Is it
So these-
still more missing documents? What do
Yes,
you- what do you-
9 out of 10.
Okay.
Here's my checklist.
Okay.
A short summary of its purpose.
Okay.
The purpose of this agency. We are the library. We were established in 1901. We are here to help the people.
Sure.
A block diagram giving its functional subdivisions.
Familiar?
You're
Yep.
familiar with that.
Yep.
It's Organizational chart. Total amount of operating budget. Oh, well, that's you guys next door. Let's go to these people. Yes, they have their budget.
Okay.
Total amount of all separate locations. City Hall and, board, commissions, advisory bodies. This means possibly an attorney. Boards and commissions have to be up there.
Okay.
A directory designating the Freedom of Information Officer. Why should anybody come in here and maybe use some of the employees' time to find that information out? No, it's got to be up.
Okay.
The address where FOIAs are to be directed. Any fees allowable under Section 6 of FOIA. And the last one is a public body that maintains a website shall also post this information on its website.
Okay.
And here it is verbatim per statute. Public body that maintains a website shall also post this information on its website. 5 ILCS 140, Section 4.
Okay.
Yep.
Understood. All right. Would you
She
mind?
might be back there trying to make these copies ready.
Okay.
Might be.
Right.
That's what she told me.
Okay.
But why not tell me that before I have to call the police here?
Well, I mean, that part is for me to go dig
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
right? It's just like the last one. It's it's hard to get certain things from. Yeah, I'm. Okay. Can I have your, if it's okay with you, your checklist, and then that way she can make a copy for exactly what you're looking for?
Well,
So
it's
that
all
we-
here in statute.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
your checklist is so much easier. You know what I'm saying?
I hear
like,
what you're
hey,
saying.
you know what? Hey, if we're
Checklist-
gonna pass the audit, you're
Yeah.
gonna look at the grade sheet, right?
My friend, checklist is it is internal, but here is an additional breakdown that's telling you 10 items.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable with them making a copy of this or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because this is the statute, it's just broken down into a clear form,
Okay.
to more readable form.
Yep. And
Here,
that is
take
your-
both so they can compare them both, because they're
Okay.
identical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'm
Sarge,
assuming
thank-
that this is fresh online, no updates?
That's online, fresh, as is.
Okay.
As
That's what I
is.
mean, like, 'cause sometimes the general
It's not
assembly,
changed.
they change it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Oh.
We are marking the things that we do not have permanently displayed, and we will let our FOIA officer know to correct that.
Okay. And did you provide him with the FOIA officer's information?
I
Yes.
did.
Okay, all right. All
And
right.
then I was going to provide him with, these are the boards.
Okay.
This is what I gave him, the FOIA's officer's information.
Okay.
Give this to
I
him
think
again.
here he has that one.
Yes.
Okay.
I think one of the other things that's requested is our branches, which we only have one location, so this is our location and our hours. We do not, as far as I know, have an organizational chart.
Oh, that's a problem.
I did not, I gave him the operating budget already.
Yes, that's actually displayed prominently. That's your only item displayed.
And the location of our library is displayed on our website as well,
Well, this has to be at the public body.
right on our website.
No, it has. That's your second requirement, ma'am.
So what he's saying is, and I believe him to be correct in this.
Okay.
There are certain things that have to be posted, not available, but posted.
Okay,
Okay. As far as compliancy goes, it's an educational portion.
Sure.
Right. There are things that are going to be in compliance and not.
Right.
But he's providing the statute.
right,
Okay.
which we have
And-
access to
okay.
as well.
And I let him know as well, is that this might not be a frontline decision. This might have to go to your executive director.
Right.
And a little bit of an opportunity as well, to rectify anything that's out of
Absolutely.
compliance.
Correct.
Okay?
Yes, I agree.
But, we can't just, if somebody, if once we know, and this might be the executive director's decision,
Right.
like, once we're aware of the laws, if we're out of compliance, we gain compliance.
Absolutely, and
Okay.
that's what I had told him, is that
Okay.
I was going to let my executive director, who's
No,
also the FOIA
ma'am.
officer, know that someone came in asking for this, and that this information was not, we could not readily find it, the people who were here.
And sometimes,
And so-
and just so you know, I'm gonna address you as private citizen, because that's what you requested.
Sure.
Sometimes it does take some time, a little bit of time, to gain compliance.
It does not. This is a requirement been for 35 years now,
I understand.
since the act was enacted. And
It's like this, certain people within an organization are tasked with that compliance, And I'm assuming that he's not in the office now?
He's in Michigan.
Yeah, at the big conference where everybody's at? Bad day
But
to
ma'am,
pick
the
for
reason why
complaints.
we had to phone non-emergencies because you threw your hand up and you told me you're not going to make none of the stuff available. After I said I wanted to phone the police because this could be...
I suggested that you called the police because I provided you everything that I had access to.
Okay, ma'am, and then later you found that you have access to the remainder of records after you told me you did not?
I said that I asked you if you had looked at our website to find any of this information. You told me you hadn't, so then I started digging, yes.
Right, but what you told me is you did not have access to any of this stuff on your own website.
This is where I ended up finding it. After I told you that I did not know
Why
that
didn't- why-
we had this information, I started to look harder.
Sure, but wouldn't it be reasonable to look for the stuff instead of telling me it's not there?
Well, you also could have looked for this stuff because I gave you access to a computer to look on our website. for
No,
this
you didn't give me access to the computer. You told me your computer requires an ID from the library.
In addition...
See, ma'am, you're telling me things that are not true in front of the body
In
cam.
addition, I think that we discussed an important part, which is
Sure.
posted versus availability.
Yes.
Okay, there's two portions of this statute. One that it's posted, and two that it's available for people that can't physically come here.
Right.
They can look at it online. But for the
Right.
people that physically enter a building,
Mhm.
this is required to be posted.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
I suggest, go ahead.
Where do you recommend posting?
Huh?
Somewhere easily be
prominent.
seen.
Usually like your bulletin boards or something like that is a good place, but ultimately, your executive director can look at your publicly accessible areas and spaces or create a new one, and then that might be his decision. Like, hey,
Yes.
we need to purchase a display case for
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
You know, a lot of places do have that. Okay,
Right,
so
absolutely.
there are things that can be done. Sometimes not in the moment. You know, it might take a couple days to get that. But once we're aware of this, then we should be.
Sergeant, you have to become a commander, Sergeant.
No, that's way higher than I
You
need
have to
go. I
become a
belong in the
commander.
streets.
I wasn't suggesting that it wasn't going to get done. I was suggesting that I am not in a position to correct these things.
No, ma'am, I did not ask you to display them prominently per se. I just asked you to make them available as required by law.
And I don't have access to do that.
But you do
I-
have. You have it in your hand.
No, I'm missing a whole bunch of things.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So that's somebody's either concealing intentionally or recklessly failing to perform a mandatory duty. We don't know that yet. If it's intentional or recklessly.
Well, she's trying to find it.
The next step would be, right?
I would do
Yeah.
away with the whole concealing because she's trying to find it.
Sure, sure.
And whether that's an available document or not, I'm sure we'll find out shortly.
Okay, great.
But everybody's on the same page here, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
If we're out of compliance, this needs to be escalated, and it
Exactly.
sounds like it is. It's just that the person, much like the FOIA officer for the Park District, she was not available. They're all at the same conference.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all at the same conference, and my guess is that any other public one that you go to, or that executive member that is in charge of these decisions, they also may be at that conference.
Sure.
Okay. So just have a heads up on that. So
Right.
we're still working on this. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
I
Then,
wasn't denying that I wasn't.
Okay, all right, cool. Then we'll allow that part to work.
Right.
Just make your executive director aware.
Absolutely.
And then just make sure that we're
And
in
we
compliance.
did text him.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah, but
No,
like I
not
said,
sure.
he's
Let's transfer
not
you over
available
there.
at the
Hi,
moment,
it's
so.
Do you want me to give these to
He can,
private citizen over here?
Okay, great.
Citizen?
I take a look at these.
All right, I'm sure that's some of the items. on
Ma'am, if these being some of the items, are you willing to display them as of right now, or do you just want to wait for your director to come make
I'm
that
gonna wait
decision?
for my director
That's not a
to
problem.
make a decision on where he would
That's
like to
that's
put
not a
them.
problem.
Yes.
You did make some available. Are you attempting to search for more
No,
documents?
I have found everything that I
That's
can-
all you have today.
Correct.
I got your word for that, ma'am. I'll
Yep.
scratch off what you handed me.
Okay.
I'm going to submit a Freedom of Information form. If I could receive a copy of that, and I think I'll be all set for today.
I'll get one of those for you.
Yeah, let me have a blank one. I do have mine already filled out, but let me hang on to a blank form for my records.
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right.
Sergeant?
Thank you very much.
Did you need an incident number? For,
Sure, yeah, I'll take an incident for this one.
Are you interested in body cam footage or?
Oh,
Well, that's a question.
yeah. Okay,
Incident number?
great.
Okay. Much like the other one.
Shoot an email.
General one, and I did directly hand your handwritten FOIA request to
Oh,
the
great.
FOIA officer. They were
Back in
still
the office.
They may have already left for the day
Yeah.
for this one.
No, it doesn't count. Today does not count. It starts. The clock starts tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yep.
I just wanted you to know that it made its way into their hands, and I said, please, before.
Either you get to be, if not commander, chief, or elected sheriff.
I appreciate it.
You're a constitutional standing man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am. And that's the thing too, is that you're exercising your First Amendment rights. That's something that I'm an advocate for.
Sure.
Even if we're in the wrong in the public sphere, once we're made aware that we're in the right, we align.
Yeah.
We expect compliancy out of the citizens. If we're out of line because of we just don't know, then we get in line.
You're a great man. Thank you
Okay.
so much, sir.
Thank you.
Have a
All right.
wonderful day.
Is there anything else I can do?
I think that's all. Let me hand over my paperwork and I'll be all set with these
Okay,
folks.
all right.
Yep.
As long as we're cool, calm, collected.
Yeah,
it seems like you are,
always,
then
always.
we're all good. Okay, let me just have a final word.
Sure, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Quick question before you leave.
Okay, sure.
All right, guys, let me pause this for a minute here.
Standardized FOIA form.
That's not a problem.
But
That's
she
not a
ma-
problem.
She let me know that they accept any written request.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so if you have something to tender for a written
I do,
request,
yep.
Then they'll happily accept it and count
Okay.
that as the FOIA request.
Miss Kathy, did you never ever had a designated FOIA form with the letterhead? Or you just don't have a copy now?
We don't have.
You
a
never
designated
developed
FOIA
one?
form that I know of.
Okay. Are you a designee FOIA officer? Do you have
No.
training? That's not a problem. FOIA can be filled out on any document.
Right.
So I have my document here already filled out. I hand a copy, receive a copy, and I think I'll be all good.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Give me a few minutes here. Let me get my
Okay, all
paperwork in order.
Anything
Thanks.
else you need from me?
No, maybe. Would you be stamping my FOIA or any staff member?
I can intake it.
You could intake it. If you
I
could
don't have a
intake
stamp,
it.
but I can intake it.
Well, just maybe hand write that you received it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm happy to do that.
So here it is. I provided it all already.
Yeah.
What we're requesting is a roster, organizational chart, job descriptions, amount of operating budget, and because I want these certified,
Sure.
and a copy of the insurance policy of this agency here. It's a 2-page FOIA request. Here it is. And I do have my email at the top.
Sure.
If I could have a copy of this 2-pager, I'll keep the ones with the hole in it. You could have the other copy.
Yeah. Let me go make a copy.
Thanks.
Okay. And then I think she had one more final question while she's working.
Yeah.
on that. Okay. You have one more question for me?
Oh, it's unrelated.
Oh, sure.
All right, let me pause this for a minute.
Is it law enforcement related? No. Okay. Let me turn all this off.
All right, let me put this paperwork in order. She just wrote a public record. We're going to be requesting that. You guys get to see what happened at another agency. Oh my God, it went so bad for them. It went so bad, horribly bad. One of the worst ones yet. All right, great.
So what you need from me is you'd like me to mark that I received it
Sure.
on today, January 23rd.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna head off. Okay.
Thanks again, Sarge.
No problem. If you need anything, just
Great
give us a ring.
work.
Okay.
God bless. All right.
You want me to put my name?
Sure. Great. That's my copy. Yep, perfect. I think I'm all set. There was a question that I had, but I forgot what it was. But yeah, I'll wait the 5 days of compliance for this.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Just put my paperwork and I'll be all set.
Take care.
Likewise. Oh, did anybody have a business card here?
Do you want our director's business card?
Sure.
These are the-
Oh, I do have a copy of that. If I could have a copy of the lady who was assisting me, if I could have a copy of her card, yeah. apologize. Oh, her name was Kim. Okay. Another win for the people. Another win for the people. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I'll be back maybe within 30 days. That time you guys would have the stuff up.
Hopefully,
All
yes.
right. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
All right.
Well.
So we're going to be shutting this stream down. Let's keep the live stream going. The one who encourages you to